WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore.
Shut up!
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you, flying solo as Lucas is, he's on the road again. He's like Willie Nelson with the guitar and everything, just not the Hulkamania bandana and Bret Hart sunglasses a la WrestleMania 7. As well as that little foam belt. You remember that? Am I the only one? I don't know. Go back and take a look at that. When he goes to perform at the very beginning of WrestleMania 7, he comes out and it's almost like he's a walking advertisement for all of the World Wrestling Federation gear at the time. He's got the Hulk Hogan, Hulk Rules bandana going on. He's got Bret Hart's pink sunglasses, and he has a foam World Wrestling Federation Championship belt around his waist. Which, good on him, because those things were, those belts were tiny from what I remember. So, well, I guess they found a way to make it work. They're good at that sort of thing. Anyway, before we get into, well, I was going to say, we do have some WrestleMania news to get into here, as the tickets went on sale yesterday for WrestleMania 35. But first, well, we've got to talk Survivor Series. It is Survivor Series weekend, and there were major shakeups to the Survivor Series lineup. Most notably, well, we've got a few notablies. That's how notable changes there were. Becky Lynch has been pulled from her Survivor Series match against Ronda Rousey due to a broken nose and concussion that she suffered during the closing angle on Raw this past Monday. So because of that, well, the Women's Survivor Series match, it looks like it's now going to be Charlotte Flair taking on Ronda Rousey, and no replacement has been named on that Women's Survivor Series match as of yet, so it's going to be the old mystery partner bit. And additionally, AJ Styles, he was set to head into Survivor Series as champion and was just a phenomenal forearm away against Daniel Bryan on SmackDown, but then this happened.
Oh, the official! Incidental contact in the official! Oh, wait a minute! Daniel Bryan with a low blow! What the hell was that about? What's Bryan thinking? Guys, the official didn't see it. The official had been knocked down. The official didn't see the low blow by Daniel. Bryan's got a crazed look in his eyes right now. Styles can't even stand. Styles in trouble. The running knee. Daniel Bryan, the cover. Daniel Bryan is WWE Champion.
Here is your winner and the new WWE Champion, Daniel Bryan.
This isn't right, guys. I don't know. Daniel Bryan just low-blowed AJ Styles. The official didn't see it. Daniel, why? Come on, Daniel.
Daniel Bryan attacking AJ Styles after the match was over. Yeah, the phenomenal forearm, well, Bryan ducked out of the way, and the forearm was hit on the referee, and in that time, that allowed Daniel Bryan the opportunity to hit between the legs, as it were, and that led to the running knee and the 3 count. So Daniel Bryan, in a very unfan favorite-like fashion, is now WWE Champion and will go on to take on Brock Lesnar tomorrow night, the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, at Survivor Series, a matchup that we thought we'd see maybe about 4 years ago at SummerSlam 2014, but there were things that shook it around back at that point, the involvement with John Cena and a whole bunch of other things, but that's a whole bunch of history in that regard. So now Daniel Bryan, well, since he was in the men's Survivor Series elimination match, well, he's got a replacement in one Jeff Hardy. We'll go over the full lineup and also get predictions certain to go wrong. Lucas did text those to me earlier, so we'll get those your way, and it should be interesting considering that heading into this we are tied for the year at 54-40. So yes, with that, what else to get into here? Well, I guess we'll go from Survivor Series right on to WrestleMania, as WWE had issued a press release Monday discussing the economic impact of WrestleMania 34 from New Orleans. The short version, they made a lot of money. The slightly longer version, WrestleMania generated $175 million for New Orleans, or the New Orleans region, this past April. Yeah, that's a lot. $175 million. Got to throw that in there. Now that's up $33 million from when New Orleans hosted WrestleMania 30 back in 2013, and it was the 7th straight year that WrestleMania has generated more than $100 million in economic impact for its host region. So New York, well, it's your move. And move they did. Indoors, in a sense. Yes, WWE announced that due to inclement weather, the on-sale party that was supposed to be at MetLife Stadium this past Thursday evening, it was canceled. Yeah, that's right. Much of the northeastern United States saw the first snowfall of the season, and it caused all kinds of havoc, including the cancellation of the party, but tickets did officially go on sale yesterday, and if you missed out, well, good luck on the secondary market, because that's pretty much how these things go, unfortunately. It's probably how most of them sold out so quickly, but that is another thing for another day. And while we're on the subject of pay-per-views, perhaps in an attempt to garner more buzz for the Mixed Match Challenge, WWE announced that the winners of that Mixed Match Challenge, which were, I believe, after week 9 now in that, the respective winners will earn the 30th entry spots in the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches. I don't know, is that... I'm torn on it. I like what they're doing as far as intrigue for the Mixed Match Challenge, because, I don't know, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of intrigue there, but it seems like on an annual basis there's something that is written in somewhere in January that sets up some sort of storyline that will have wrestlers face off to determine and earn that coveted 30th spot in the Royal Rumble, meaning that they essentially can wait as the other 29 start to fight it out before they make their way in. So as advantageous as it is, well, not too many have won in that 30 spot. That's, I guess, another historical thing that we can kind of dabble with a little bit. As the numbers of the winners, 30 isn't exactly, while it's advantageous, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is, well, that it doesn't guarantee a win necessarily as far as the entry numbers. As looking here, yeah, 30 has won on 3 different occasions in the roughly 30 years. So I guess it is, there's a lot of different numbers that are thrown out there as I'm looking here. But yes, with Triple H winning back in 2016 at number 30, along with John Cena in 2008 and The Undertaker in 2007, those are the 3 instances where the final entrant ended up being the victor. And yeah, there are higher numbers in those 2 cases. The 2011 Royal Rumble where they had 40 wrestlers instead of 30, and Alberto Del Rio won at number 38. And then, of course, earlier this year, the greatest Royal Rumble, the GRR Jack? No, we're not going there. There's been enough discussion regarding, actually you heard it in the news bit earlier, regarding the whole Jamal Khashoggi thing. So that's something else that we can delve into a little bit more. Well, as long as Ted isn't giving me the high sign on it. Something else that we can delve a little bit more into on the other side is what, if any, impact will this determination make in terms of WWE's business future with Saudi Arabia? I know. Cue the fancy music as I'm walking the tightrope walk here. It is certainly interesting, to say the least. But yeah, looking so far, there were 3 entrants at number 30 who have won, 2 at 29, and, 2 wins at 28, and oddly enough, they were by the same person. I feel like that should be a trivia question. But apparently the lucky number is 27, as on 4 different occasions, number 27 won the Rumble. So I don't know. Maybe that could be something forward. You don't get 30, but maybe you get number 27 since they've won the most. It's hard to say. Looks like the middle of the pack seldom takes it, although Shinsuke Nakamura at 14 this year, that's as close to the middle as it has ever gotten. And Jim Duggan before that at 13, but that was also 13 out of 20 entrants, so they're a little bit different as well. These are some interesting things that I'm almost getting research locked into a little bit here. But we can get into that another time, as well, we're a few months away, only a couple of months away actually, from the Royal Rumble. So that'll be some more fun stuff to get into at that point. Maybe you can get some trivia type things along the way or something along that line here. So we'll take care of our first bit of business here. We'll come back. We'll talk more Survivor Series, give you the full lineup, the predictions certain to go wrong, as well as a little bit of talk about the potential business impact of WWE with the recent outside of wrestling findings that has made things rather difficult and uncomfortable for WWE over the course of the last month and a half. And it's made it a little uncomfortable here on the show as well, in all honesty. But news is news, right? Plus, we've got some noted injuries to talk about, especially from the Ring of Honor champion Cody, and how that's going to affect things going forward as he is, as he heads into Final Battle. And he tweeted about it. We'll talk about it on the other side as well. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Chickies and Pete's, home of the world champions of football. Philadelphia Magazine's best Philly sports bar. GQ Magazine, best place to watch the game. USA Today, number 2 airport bar in the country. And voted number 1 sports bar in North America. Proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Chickies, dedicated to being the very best. Where are you going to watch the game? Go where the players go. Chickies and Pete's.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve, as they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives, even when there's no government funding or a nursing home seems like the only option. We won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at findwwp.org.
We hop to it.
As the year end is here and we celebrate the holidays, Joey says, let's remember those who are in need and let's give in the spirit of the season. And we are giving to Bucks County. So, to say thanks to the people of Bucks County, we continue our holiday roof giveaway. If you know of a family in need who is facing tough times, call us today and nominate them for our holiday roof giveaway. We'll provide the details for awarding a residential roof to a family in need. You see, we live here too, and we're your neighbors, and we appreciate the opportunity to serve the folks of Bucks County, and we give back. Let's remember those in need this holiday season and reach out to help. That's something we can all hop to. Call today, we're a hop away. Tell them, Joey.
We hop to it.
Hop to our website, abrooksconstruction.com.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Clement. Hoping you can join me Wednesday 6 to 7 p.m. for the fastest hour on radio. It's Independence Blue Cross presents Bill Clement's Hockey World, and that is me. I'll be joined by a different Flyer or Phantoms guest each week from a Chickies and Pete's location near you. Go to WBCBsports.com to learn more and watch the show live every week. Independence Blue Cross presents Bill Clement's Hockey World, live from Chickies and Pete's every Wednesday 6 to 7 p.m. right here on 1490 WBCB and 610 ESPN.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. I'm going to break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside, well, not Lucas, at least not this week. But who I am alongside is via the phone, bringing us a look at the local scene, none other than Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Hey there.
Happy Turkey Day coming up.
Yeah, we are closing in on it. That's for sure. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, tonight is. Oh, I lost it. I'll have to get back to that one. Anyway, the Super Crazy Pro Wrestling is at the Homestead Boys Club tonight with a 6 p.m. bell time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a double ring.
Oh, a two-ring affair. It seems like there's a lot of that goes on this time of year. It's, I guess, I mean, WWE's got it with War Games, and I mean, I think that's kind of what started a little bit of it. I know we had it at the Monster Factory, the MFPW, with Turkey Slam not too long ago.
It's going to be super crazy and New Moon Pro Wrestling.
New Moon Rising?
New Moon Rising, I meant to say. Adding names up, I guess.
It's a lot to juggle. I certainly can understand that.
WH2O is in Williamstown, New Jersey tonight. It's a women's affair run by H2O Wrestling.
Okay, my apologies, Ed. What kind of affair was that?
It's going to be an all-women's show.
Oh, all-women's show. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A women's affair. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
I said it wrong.
That's I just wanted to follow up and make doubly sure here. I was like, is it a women's affair, a men's affair? Is it like the old Sly and the Family Stone song, a family affair?
And I mentioned last week about MLW coming to Philly.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I had that on my list again. Crossing that out.
Well, better to mention it twice than to not mention it at all. That is for sure. But that'll be, the Major League Wrestling Super Fight. That'll be on Groundhog's Day of 2019.
I think it's going to be at 8 o'clock or 7:30 bell time. I didn't catch what time they open up.
Well, I'm taking a look now. They don't have that, although they did mention that tickets will be going on sale Monday, the 26th of November. So a week from this Monday at 10 a.m. is where you'll be able to get tickets for MLW Super Fight on Saturday, February 2nd, 2019.
And 2300 Arena is really rocking this week. Or next month, I meant to say. They'll have the Icons of Wrestling. They'll have in Tommy Dreamer's promotion, House of Hardcore. And the next night is Cage of Death.
Well, it's good to see that there's a lot of upcoming wrestling events going on in the old ECW arena, the 2300 arena.
And when this convention, they have one in Philly there, Lenny Dykstra was just at it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things going on as I'm taking a look here. They've got some comedy things going on. They've got this is an interesting back-to-back-to-back here. So on the 7th of December, they've got boxing. Then the next night is the next day is the Icons of Wrestling Fan Fest on December 8th. That evening is House of Hardcore 52. And then, as you had mentioned, CZW Cage of Death 20 is that Sunday the 9th.
Sunday, yes.
And then that following Saturday the 15th is Ring of Honor Final Battle Fallout.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so you've got...
Set up your tent now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got 3 different rather large wrestling shows all coming your way in the span of a week.
GCW is at House of Independence next Friday. They'll have Homicide and Nick Gage with an 8 p.m. bell time in Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Oh, that should be fun as well.
And Survivor Series is going to be, there's 2 locations showing it. In Chester, PA, at the training center, Backbreakers up in... No, that's not Backbreakers. I have it down wrong.
Well, no worries. I'm sure that folks can take a look at
this place.
No worries. I'm sure that folks can take a look at look online for Survivor Series viewing parties.
KCW, I meant to say. KCW.
Okay, Keystone Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And St. Douglas is having a seminar that afternoon as well.
Oh, very nice.
And H2O is having one, too, at 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, it's good to see that it's still popular, not just here in the area, but worldwide as well.
We're trying to get it back here in the Northeast at Nick's.
Yeah, time will certainly tell on that.
Maybe they were too busy to...
Well, or they just wanted to kind of shake things up, get some other things going in there.
Yeah.
That way they don't get too stale or monotonous. At least that'd be my guess.
And did you hear about that doubleheader next weekend with Shakeup and Beyond Wrestling?
I heard drips and drabs of it, I will be honest.
It's starting at 3 p.m. next week at the Wrestle Factory in Northeast Philly.
That should... I'm quickly pulling that up now here. I know that there's TFT Night 1. It looks like here. It's at the Wrestle Factory, 7 o'clock entry, 7:30 bell time.
And that's about it.
All righty. Yeah, we appreciate the look at the local scene as always, and we'll catch up with you next week. Turkey tryptophan hangover pending. All right, Ed. Thanks for calling in. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Much appreciated. And speaking of Thanksgiving, well, we're giving thanks to this individual calling all the way over from across the pond in England. Yeah, that's right. We got to get this music up as we haven't heard it in quite a while. The great Harry Barnett calling over from England.
Ron, doesn't it feel like it's been a while? Doesn't it feel like it's been way too long?
It has. It's been way too long.
I believe the last time I was here, I was telling everyone about what should happen to the American Roughneck, and, well, I got my wish. That date was back in April. I mean, that's how long it's been, Fearon. It's been 7 wasted months of not being able to hear my voice.
Well, I mean, you're a busy man, after all.
Oh, no, I wasn't busy. I was wasting my time, but these things happen.
Fair enough. Oh, goodness. We'll keep that. As much as I love to keep John Williams on there, I don't want to go too long with it.
That, and I was going to say, and that is another story for another day, but hey, what can I say? These things happen. But no, today, as much as I love just coming in and throwing nonsense around, I genuinely did have a point in my head.
Well, it's one more than Lucas has had for the year, so let's go for it.
Well, I mean, I'm not the biggest follower of indie wrestling, as you know. I mean, I support New Moon, who obviously Ed said is super crazy against New Moon tonight at the Boys Club in
Holmesburg Boys Club,
somewhere in Philadelphia. I don't remember addresses, but yeah, that's going on. But I support them. I support Matt Tremont, who obviously runs H2O. But I watched a GCW show last night. It was Joey Janela's LA Confidential, and the main event of that was Nick Gage against David Arquette. And you see something like that, and if you obviously know who both guys are, if you don't know who David Arquette is, you probably don't watch many movies. But Nick
or
Gage,
WCW back in 2000.
Exactly. But WCW's long gone now. That's
yeah.
my
I know, I'm
little
dating
dig
myself a
that
little bit there. Yeah.
That's my little dig that will get the people out there hating me. But yeah, if you look at both guys, you see Nick Gage, a deathmatch guy. He's been in prison, and then you see Arquette, who is obviously he's in movies. He was in WCW. And you see that match of those two guys, that's really quite an interesting pairing. And I watched it and thinking to myself, is Arquette really going to do a death match? And in his defense, he really held his own for someone that's not a death match guy, a guy who you really don't think would really do much in wrestling. And I mean, watching that, you have to think that the guy's obviously only doing this latest run just because he wants, he feels like he owes it to the fans after the whole WCW thing. He doesn't think that he should have been given the belt. But if anyone watched that last night and they don't now respect David Arquette, then not only do I think that they're never going to, but I will regain my dislike of wrestling fans who clearly it's clearly things aren't enough for them.
Most certainly. I'm reading up on it a little bit here as apparently things, this is all in Los Angeles last night. I mean, I was going to say, I know that I'm a little squeamish when it comes to deathmatch type things, but the match involved light tubes, which, at one point, now again, Arquette also 47 years of age. So he's not exactly a spring chicken doing all this stuff here, but he hit a diamond cutter on Gage through a bunch of those light tubes, and it looked like at one point that Gage was starting to grind broken light tubes into David's forehead, and at one point Arquette's neck actually was sliced.
Yep. Take it from someone who, obviously I'm good friends with Matt Tremont and Chrissy, his other half, but I cannot stand deathmatch wrestling. I will not flaunt that because I am such good friends with them and various others in the deathmatch world. But I cannot stand deathmatch wrestling. But I watched this just because of the interesting pairing and to see the guy really taking some nasty stuff that you'd really only see these deathmatch regulars take. You really have to respect the guy. He just wants. He's clearly just a wrestling fan who wants the respect of people who he robbed when he had the WCW title, even though it's a wrestling championship. You didn't win it; you were given it. It's not really a big deal. But
you don't say.
Yeah, but still, he just wants their respect. And if this hasn't made that happen, then I really don't know what he can do.
Well, according to sources, the camera crew filming David's documentary filmed as he returned to the back, and apparently actor Luke Perry, who was in-house, rushed in to take his fellow actor to the emergency room, and Arquette tweeted later after saying that he got stitched up, he added, "Turns out death matches aren't my thing."
Yeah, I saw that.
And that's what's great about David Arquette, is that he has been involved in some very interesting and controversial moments in professional wrestling, and he has taken it all in stride. He has taken it all tongue-in-cheek, and you're right. I mean, I as much as he is kind of the punchline in a lot of wrestling jokes, the fact that when all that was going on with WCW, I mean, he didn't keep a dime of the money that was given to him. It was all given to various wrestling families, the families of Owen Hart, I believe Brian Pillman, and I want to say Brian Hildebrand, the referee for WCW, whose life ended early due to cancer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, that whole run he was doing it for a good cause, and still, like, everyone just completely, makes him the joke of everything. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I personally like what the guy's doing. You know, an actor going into wrestling, he's trying a little bit of everything. I personally want to see a WWE run or a Impact run. I know he had a match in Impact and he had a match in WWE. But I personally like what he's doing. So I a lot of the time I have been on the other end of the fence to the popular opinion as far as wrestling fans go. Don't get me started on Becky Lynch. But but yeah, like it's funny how a guy is just doing everything he can for respect, and he's probably not going to get it at this rate.
Which is unfortunate. And I do want to provide a correction just so people don't go, "Oh, you said this is supposed to be that guy," because I know that's coming. It was Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, and Darren Drozdov, whom he had donated his money made during that WCW tenure to. So the families of those three.
Yeah. That. I mean, how many people do you see going into wrestling now would do something like that? Because, well, the majority of them are selfish or doing things that they shouldn't. James Ellsworth.
Wow, name dropping here.
If I was here to name drop, I would have probably done the entire shoot interview I'm planning on doing this week in the space of the few minutes that you have me.
Yes, and then I have to potentially hover. Well, no, you're good about those things. I wouldn't have to hover over the dump button.
No, it's fine. Like I've in my 7 months, I have learned to behave every now and again. You know, I still have that era of evil in me, but no, I know to behave every now and again. And clearly, we've hit a day today where I'm a little bit too tired to misbehave.
Misbehave. There we go.
Yeah, as I told you, there's going to be a shoot interview this week about a topic of someone I used to work with that can surprisingly span a couple of hours. But that I will obviously give more information on at a later date once that is out, because it's still a bit of a touchy subject.
Yeah, definitely a touchy subject, and one that I'm sure once it's released will be bowling a lot of people over.
I like your choice of words there.
I've been doing this for I haven't been doing this for a decade for nothing now, or almost a decade in the case of this show. Actually, yeah, goodness, it'll be this coming March. It'll be 10 years that I've been hosting this crazy thing, and this coming February it'll be 20 years that the show's been on the air. Now, will they be sending you a 10-year badge? Depends on who do you consider they?
Well, as long as someone does, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think it may be an emptied-out pie plate, possibly, with some marker on it. That might be the best I'll be able to do for a badge. But I'll take Austin's route on it. Badges, we don't need no stinking badges.
If you can put it in a frame, it counts.
Oh, there we go. I'm sure there's a way to. There's ways to make art out of a lot of things. It could put it in a shadow box, for example. There's ways around it.
Ron, you're talking to someone who has drawn several logos that could hit copyright infringement. Anything these days counts as art.
Yeah, either that or intellectual property, and that's a whole another topic for another day.
Indeed. Before you let me go, obviously, as Ed said earlier on, New Moon and Super Crazy show is tonight in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, somewhere in that area. I don't remember addresses. And
the Holmesburg Boys Club.
Thank you. Obviously, good people. I wish I could be at more of their shows than 2 every 10 years. There's a 2-ring 5-on-5 match. My good friend Justin America and Jake Bishop are on Team New Moon, so you got to go out and support New Moon. Super Crazy can't even spell their own name, but New Moon, anyone out there, go and support them. The American Roughneck doesn't bother them anymore, so you won't have to worry about that.
Duly noted. Should be rather interesting to say the least. And yes, that's at the Holmesburg Boys Club, 7756 Dittman Street in the Holmesburg section of Philadelphia, just off of Torresdale Avenue. So go on and check that out. The event looks to be, as I'm looking here, it looks like it's 5:30. So wow, we're a little less than 5 hours away from it.
Absolutely, and as any of those shows tend to be, they will be one hell of a show. As will WH2O. I mean, it's a hotbed of great shows out there tonight. I mean, there's plenty going on. If you stay indoors tonight, I know you're having a little bit of trouble with the weather, but if you stay indoors tonight, what the hell is wrong with you? If you've got a few dollars in your pocket and you feel like going out and playing in the snow, play out in the snow on your way to a great wrestling show. That's coming from someone who hasn't cared about wrestling for 7 months. Go out and support these shows.
Fair enough. The great Harry Barnett, thank you for chiming in all the way from across the pond. It's already evening over there. It's I have only experienced the shift in time zones on a few different occasions, and that whole 5-hour difference is it's an adjustment.
It really is when you forget what time it is and go to call your show for about 3-4 months.
Oh, that'll do it. If you're calling and you're either you're getting Denny O with polka or getting Ted Efaw with the country roads, and it's either a little too early or a little too late.
Absolutely.
And speaking of too late, that's about what I am here for. Time out here, but I appreciate you chiming in, and we'll catch up with you hopefully a little sooner than 7 months from now.
See you soon, pal.
All right. Thanks. The great Harry Barnett chiming in. And we mentioned intellectual property. One place that occasionally has to tiptoe around those is a place that has fun events as the holidays are upon us, and that's the Broken Goblet Brewery at 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA, where this Wednesday it is Thanks for the Laughs 4. The 4th annual night of comedy starring nationally recognized comedians Don Jameson and Jim Florentine. The best Thanksgiving Eve tradition since Survivor Series in the early 90s, it's Thanks for the Laughs 4. Plus, this Friday is Black Friday, and that can mean just, quite a few things for the Goblet. In this case, they're opening at a special time of noon for a day of fun, including at 3 o'clock the release of Bubba's Sour Tea Bag, the Bubba's Tea Bag beer that has been soured and aged for 9 months in wine barrels. Those are $13 a piece, $13 a piece, that is, and a limit of 3 per person. And then at 5 o'clock, Zombie Turkey Paintball. It's exactly as it sounds. Yes, the staff will be dressing up as various zombified turkeys, pilgrims, and otherwise, and you get to put a few shekels out to shoot at them with paintballs. That's a lot of fun. And then at 8 o'clock, live music from April, May, and the June Bugs. Or April, May, and the June Bugs as well. Don't forget some of the other weekly features, Sunday Bloody Marys and Bloody Flights, as well as brews from noon to 5. Tuesdays, you've got Jackbox.tv on the big screen, and it's free to play from your cell phone. Wednesdays bring Quizzo from the Dark Side with bartender Reese, except this Wednesday it's nixed for the Thanks for the Laughs 4. Thursdays, you have the house musician Mike Estabrook, who plays tunes and has Esta Bingo, which can help you win chances at a quarterly jackpot. Again, not this Thursday because, well, Thanksgiving. Goblet will not be open, as will not a lot of places will be open. Fridays are live music from a variety of acts, and Saturdays are a hodgepodge of events. Just a few reasons why it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. Coming back, we'll get into those Survivor Series predictions certain to go wrong. We've got more news, notes, and otherwise, birthdays, today in wrestling history, and we'll take a look at the potential that might be going on with WWE now that we've heard a little bit more about that whole Saudi journalist thing. Awkward. All that and more here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Open enrollment for individual health insurance ends December 15th. This year, you may have more choices. Only plans on healthcare.gov guarantee coverage for substance use disorder, mental health, prescriptions, and pre-existing conditions. If you need help signing up for health insurance or have questions about financial assistance, visit localhelp.healthcare.gov. To learn more about health insurance, visit insurance.pa.gov. Sponsored by the Pennsylvania Insurance Department.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
I'm Henry Carpenter, a certified elder law attorney, and we're Bucks County Elder Law, a life care planning law firm. I'm often asked, what is elder law and why do I need an elder law attorney? Elder law is a unique practice. It combines a number of divergent areas of law to help older adults and their families address the issues that arise during the aging process. Typically, a certified elder law attorney will go beyond just giving legal advice by creating and participating in a customized plan addressing a client's legal needs for today and the future. We want to be a resource to assist clients through the aging process. By giving advice on complicated issues like Medicaid, planning for incapacity, planning to preserve family assets, and coordinating planning for care, elder law attorneys strive to obtain the best possible result for each client. Our goal is to meet our clients' needs so they can age in place and remain independent for as long as possible. At Bucks County Elder Law, we empower you to make the best legal, care, and planning decisions for you and your family. We invite you to call us today at 215-493-0727 to schedule a free initial consultation. Join us each Tuesday at 9 a.m. for senior legal strategies right here on WBCB and to visit our website at buckscountyelderlaw.com.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, November 17th. On this date in 1996, the WWF held its Survivor Series pay-per-view. In the main event, Psycho Sid pinned Shawn Michaels to win the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1997, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Cincinnati, Ohio. In the main event, The Giant defeated Scott Hall by disqualification. On this date in 2002, WWE held its Survivor Series pay-per-view. In the main event, Shawn Michaels defeated Booker T, Chris Jericho, Kane, Rob Van Dam, and Triple H in an Elimination Chamber match to win the World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2008, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Atlanta, Georgia. In the main event, Randy Orton pinned CM Punk in a lumberjack match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, November 17th.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you for, golly, just about 10 minutes here and a lot to do. Phone calls certainly changing things around, and that's not a bad thing, not at all. Appreciate people chiming in. So WWE, as we know, went forward with that pay-per-view a couple of weeks ago in Saudi Arabia, and, well, the deal is still on as far as the 10-year agreement with Saudi Arabia to host a series of special events, but man, it gets a little more interesting here. I mean, they were already under fire for running a major event in a country well known for gender inequality, and, well, Triple H had said prior to the event that they were hoping that those events would help promote social change in Saudi Arabia, saying, quote, "I understand that people are questioning it, but you have to understand that every culture is different, and just because you don't agree with a certain aspect of it, it doesn't mean it's not a relevant culture. You can't dictate to a country or a religion about how they handle things, but having said that, WWE is at the forefront of a women's evolution in the world, and what you can't do is affect change anywhere by staying away from it." That all sounds well and good, but yeah, a lot of fans seeing the WWE selling their soul to make a quick buck, or quite a few bucks in this case. But now, with everything coming out regarding the details and confirmation of the involvement of the government, what will change? If you ask me, I'm thinking that the shows will still go on. They're just kind of like you saw at CJJ, Crown Jewel Jack. You'll probably just see no propaganda or of the, hey, look how good the government is, because they realized that'll put them in a bit of a precarious position, to say the least. Yeah, so there that is. So in other news, now Cody announcing via social media that he would undergo an MRI on his knee and would be unable to wrestle at this past Sunday's Ring of Honor Global Wars event in Toronto. And he'd initially written that he had heard a loud pop in his knee on Friday while teasing that he would throw a T-shirt to the crowd. Knees are sensitive. Cody then announced early Sunday morning that he would undergo an MRI and would not be able to wrestle in Toronto, but added on Monday, "Good news is my doctor is fairly confident that my MCL, PCL, and ACL are structurally sound. Bad news is the meniscus is fairly damaged and going to require a scope. No dates will be adjusted at the moment, and I'll still definitely compete in the Final Battle main event and at Wrestle Kingdom." So based on that, Ring of Honor officially announcing Jay Lethal against Cody for the ROH Championship for that Final Battle pay-per-view on Friday, December 14th in New York, New York at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Meanwhile, on the injury front, the controversial Joey Ryan issuing a tweet yesterday stating, "The MRI revealed that I have an acute tear of the left pectoral major, including a high-grade tear of the clavicular head at the myotendinous junction and a high-grade intradendinous tear of the sternal head with retraction and hemorrhage into the muscle belly. Disorganized fibers of the muscle tendon tear identified with the deltopectoral groove. The doctor is recommending surgery, and I'm to call the surgeon on Monday or Tuesday to set up an appointment to see them. A timetable on recovery will be determined by the surgeon." Basically, that means there's not a lot of good stuff going on in the chest and shoulder of Joey Ryan, and it's going to require surgery. That's what all that fancy medicalese is that's going on here. So we're closing in on things here. I think it's time to give the predictions certain to go wrong for the Survivor Series. Yes. So we've got the kickoff matchup. Team Raw against Team SmackDown tag teams going against one another. For Raw, you've got Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, as well as the Ascension, Lucha House Party, The Revival, and the B-Team against SmackDown's Usos, The New Day, The Colognes, Sanity, and Gallows and Anderson. I'm going with Team Raw. Lucas is going with Team SmackDown on that one. Already dissension, differentiation, and the like. And you've got the Raw Tag Team Champions, AOP, against the SmackDown Tag Champions, The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. I'm going with The Bar, to the surprise of no one. And AOP is where Twitch is going. And we differentiate yet again for the Cruiserweight title. I'm going with Buddy Murphy, the champ, to retain, and Twitch is going with Mustafa Ali. Intercontinental Champion versus U.S. Champion, Seth Rollins against Shinsuke Nakamura. We both think that Nakamura will take it there. Similarly, we go with the Raw Women's Champion, beating Charlotte Flair in that non-title match. And as far as another champion versus champion match, Brock Lesnar against new WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. We're both going with Brock Lesnar. Now back to the Survivor Series elimination matches. For the women, Team Raw, Nia Jax, Tamina, Mickie James, Natalya, and Ruby Riott against Team SmackDown's Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, Asuka, and a mystery partner. Well, I'm going with Team SmackDown with that mystery partner, and Lucas going with Team Raw. And finally, the men's elimination match, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and Finn Balor for Raw against SmackDown's The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, and Samoa Joe. It's hard to bet against a McMahon, so I'm going with Team SmackDown, as is Lucas. So there you go. There's our predictions certain to go wrong for the Survivor Series tomorrow night. And certainly should be a goodie, to say the least. Also of note from the Frozen Let It Go department, former WWE champ CM Punk speaking with Dan Gelston of the Associated Press and continued to rule out a return to pro wrestling. When asked about wrestling as a whole, Punk said, "I don't pay attention. People seem to get upset when I say that." Although Punk is aware of fans chanting his name at WWE events, adding, "You stop it and 5 years later, people still talk about you, fans still chant your name, that's powerful to me." So he's at least throwing some acknowledgement, but he's still not coming back. Get over it. Punk will be calling a CFFC mixed martial arts event that will be broadcast on UFC Fight Pass on December 14th and declared he has not ruled out fighting again in terms of MMA, saying, quote, "Since my last fight, I've been juggling half a dozen things. I kind of gave myself a deadline at the beginning of the new year to find out what is coming next. I don't rule anything out. Absolutely not." And finally, Trevor Lee completing his Impact run at the Las Vegas tapings this week. Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, reporting that Lee gave his notice to the promotion and that WWE is interested in him. We'll see how that goes. So we've got about 2 minutes left, so it is time for... calling in sick, as he does. 6 Brucey bonuses. We got to fly through them. So on this date in 1980, Bradley Thomas J. was born, the former WWE and 2013 TNA Gut Check Tournament winner, known as Ryan Braddock, Jay Bradley, and Aiden O'Shea. He turns 38 today. Now to things outside of the world of wrestling, and boy, are there a lot of them. On this date in 1938, Gordon Meredith Lightfoot Jr. was born. The Canadian singer and songwriter with chart-topping hits including If You Could Read My Mind, Sundown, Carefree Highway, and Rainy Day People, known simply as Gordon Lightfoot, turns 80 today. Wow, indeed. On this date in 1944, Daniel Michael DeVito Jr. was born. The TV and film actor known from Taxi, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, as well as movies One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Twins, and Batman Returns, among many other. You know him better as Danny DeVito. He turned 74 today. On this date in 1948, Howard Brush Dean III was born, the former governor of Vermont who was presidential nominee. Yeah, exactly. We're going to the White House? Yeah! That guy. Yep, from the Iowa caucuses from 2004. He turned 70 today. Man, back when a scream could ruin your political career. Now you can get away with damn near anything. On this date in 1960, RuPaul Andre Charles was born, the Emmy Award-winning actor and TV personality and host of that drag queen reality TV show RuPaul's Drag Race, known as the mononymous RuPaul. He turns 58 today. On this date in 1964, Mitchell Stephen Williams was born, the former Major League Baseball relief pitcher who played for the 1993 Phillies en route to the NL pennant, better known as the Wild Thing, Mitch Williams. He turns 54 today. And on this date in 1980, Clark Isaac Hansen was born, the eldest of the three brothers that comprise the band Hanson, most famous for their 1997 chart topper, Mbop. You probably know him better as Isaac Hansen. He turns 38 today. Wow, that... hit right in the tiger beats. All right, that's going to do it for us here. Ted Efall's got Country Roads up next with the Country Roads Memory Spotlight of Dan Seals. And until next week, play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock and all's well.
Celebrating 60 years of broadcasting excellence. We're 1490 WBCB. Levitt.